Now, let's take a look at what's included in Air Hogs Flight Rider box. It includes this nice little 4-channel transmitter. This big green button right here is your power button. This little gray button right here with the 2 blue arrows, that's your auto launch and land button. And these 4 little gray buttons right here, that's to trim your little cycle. And this little switch right here with the 1 and 2 on it, that's to select your different modes. Mode 1 is your beginner mode, and mode 2 is your advanced mode. And up here is your stunt button for doing the various stunts that this little quad is capable of. This will be your throttle stick right here. This is to turn left and right. This is to go forwards, backwards, and this is to drift left and drift right. The transmitter uses 2 AAA batteries. And to access the batteries, there's this little button right here that you have to press. Just press that in, and the battery door pops right off. And then now you have access to your 2 AAA batteries. And then just to put it back on, just slide it and press this right here to lock in that button. And you hear it pop, and your battery door's back on. I think that's a pretty neat feature. I'm glad Air Hogs got away from using that little screw, because those were always a pain in the butt. So that's a nice feature. Next, we have our little USB charger, and you have this little jack right here. Let's see, that plugs into the little quadcopter cycle, and also has the charger that's equipped with a standard USB on the other side. And when this is charging, the red light will be flashing, and when it's finished charging, the red light will go solid. So that's a pretty nice feature to let you know it's finished charging. And then we have the little accessory bag here, and it includes this neat little tool to remove your props. One nice thing about this, you can use it on the other little quadcopters, that if you have other quadcopters, so that'll come in handy. That's a pretty nice little feature. And also includes it also includes 4 spare props, which is really nice. So if you break a prop, you got 4 spares. And it also includes extra sticks for the transmitter. So you can pop these little thumb pads off and use these little sticks instead. But I'll be leaving the thumb pads on, as with these little transmitters, I really like the thumb pads over the sticks. So that's a pretty nice feature. And also includes a really nicely detailed manual. It's more like a double-sided sheet, but tells you everything you need to know about the quadcopter. Even tells you how to use the tool to replace the rotor blades. And here's the other side. This is side 2. Tells you about the driving mode, the flight mode, the advanced flight mode, and what the stunt button does. And also it tells you how to trim your little quad cycle. Very nicely detailed manual. And also you have this other stuff down here, which is nice. And it also has a phone number for if you have problems. So you can call Air Hogs or Spin Master directly. And as it says on the thing, it's for indoor use only. But we'll see about that. And it also comes with this little card that has their phone number on it if you have any problems. Even has a little email address on it, which is really nice. And if you live in other countries like the UK, Ireland, or Australia, has their phone numbers and information where you can contact them if you have a problem. And also includes this little troubleshooting battery kind of safety guide for the batteries, which is really nice. And now here's the main feature, the cycle itself. As you can see, it's actually pretty nice. I already installed the little landing skids on it. It just keeps the, when you land, it just keeps it from falling over to the side. So that's a pretty nice little feature. And they just snap in these little holes right here. If I can get it focused, there we go. Okay. And right here is the charging port where you plug in the charger. And right here is your little tiny on-off switch. And the headlights are supposed to light up. So this is actually a pretty nice little quadcopter. Just get a nice little view of all the angles of it. Get an idea of it. Looks pretty cool. Feels pretty lightweight. The plastic is really lightweight plastic. So we'll see how if I crash this thing, if I have any durability issues with it. But other than that, it seems pretty cool. I really like this thing. It looks cool. And let's see how it looks in the air and see how it drives on the ground. And stay tuned for the flight test and the driving test coming up. As you can see in the flight footage, I had a lot of crashes with the Flight Rider, but overall it held up pretty good. There's no scratches or scuffs on it, there's no cracks, and it still functions properly. But overall, it does fly really good, but if you're going to use the stunt mode on it, you really need a lot of height to actually do the stunts. Otherwise, you'll crash into the ceiling, or you just won't be high enough so that when it tries to recover from the barrel roll or loops, it'll lose a lot of altitude. So you'll end up crashing into the ground, or it'll drift off into a wall or something. So it's probably best if you were to use this, or if you were to use the stunt mode on this while it's flying, is to either fly it outside on a calm day, or if you had a large room with a really high ceiling. The instructions tell you to, if you do a loop or barrel roll, you need it needs to be at least 6.5 feet off the ground, and that's pretty true of it. Overall, though, just the flying, it flies really good. I mean, you can fly it really aggressively, and it's pretty fun. And on the ground, it actually is pretty fun to drive around on the ground and pop a wheelie by using the Stunt button. And when you're driving it on the ground, you don't want to hit this button, and you don't want to hit your throttle button. You want to use your right stick to drive it on the ground, because if you hit your throttle stick or your auto takeoff and auto landing button, it's just gonna take off into the air, and you won't be able to drive it on the ground. So if you want to drive it on the ground, just set it on the ground and use your right stick to steer it and to drive it forward. It doesn't go backwards though when you're driving on the ground. That's the only bad thing. And when you're in the first rate button right here on the switch, you won't be able, when the Night Rider is in the air, you won't be able to. It won't turn left or right. It'll only slide left, right, and go forwards and backwards and up and down. If you want to be able to rotate it or turn it, you got to have it in rate 2. Of course, it makes everything respond a lot quicker, and you'll be able to use your left and right turning, which makes it a lot easier to fly. So I always kept it in rate 2. But overall, I mean, this thing cost $39.99 at the store plus taxes. To me, it's kind of expensive for what it is, when you can get something like the Tomzon U48B, which actually probably outperforms it. The only thing is, the Tomzon doesn't do the tricks and the stunts like the Flight Rider does. And the Tomzon was only around $21 with the coupon off of Amazon. But overall, if this thing was a little cheaper, like maybe $29.99, I would recommend it. But at $39.99, I really can't recommend it. But it does fly good for what it is. So thanks for watching my video. Please thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.